Welcome to the Unshakable Man, 12 ways to stay calm in a chaotic world. Before you begin, take a moment to settle your mind, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to be fully present. What you're about to hear isn't entertainment. It's a roadmap, a practical guide for building inner strength, emotional stability, and calmness in a noisy and unpredictable world. This isn't philosophy for the sake of sounding wise. These are tools for survival. Tools you can use the moment you finish listening. If you choose to commit to them, they will reshape the way you think, feel, react, and live. Let this be the beginning of a stronger, calmer version of you. Now, let us begin. By Ali M.K. Bright. The Unshakable Man. 1. When the world becomes too loud. Life today demands more from the human mind than any generation before us. From the moment you wake up, you are flooded with noise, messages, news, expectations, bills, responsibilities, and the silent pressure to keep up with everyone else. You feel it in your chest before you even step out of bed, the weight of a day you haven't lived yet. This constant mental pressure slowly erodes your sense of control until even small inconveniences feel like major threats. You snap more easily, you lose patience faster, you struggle to think clearly because your mind has become a battlefield, overloaded and overstimulated. The truth is, most people are not weak. They are simply overwhelmed. Their minds were never trained to handle this level of constant noise. The first step to becoming unshakable is recognizing that the chaos isn't just around you, it's inside you. And unless you strengthen your inner world, the outside world also will always feel too heavy. 2. The inner storm that you don't realize you're fighting. We often think our stress comes from external problems: money, work, relationships, traffic, bad luck. But the real storm forms in the reaction, not the event. Two people can face the same challenge. One stays calm, the other collapses. Why? Because the untrained mind multiplies fear, while the trained mind absorbs pressure like a shield. Think of a time you received unexpected bad news. Your heart raced, your breath tightened, your thoughts spiraled. The event lasted seconds, but the mental storm lasted hours. This happens because the mind is reacting automatically, without awareness or control. Stoicism teaches that the real battle is internal. If you tame your thoughts, emotions lose their power. But if you observe your feelings instead of becoming them, the storm fades. To become unshakable, you must learn to calm the chaos before it begins. 3. The ancient blueprint, what the Stoics actually discovered. Over 2,000 years ago, long before therapy, self-help, or modern psychology, the Stoics studied human suffering with remarkable clarity. They lived through war, betrayal, disease, political corruption, and constant instability. Yet many of them remained composed, rational, and emotionally stable. They realized a powerful truth: peace is not found in the world. Peace is created in the mind. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while journaling every night to keep his emotions grounded. Epictetus was born a slave, yet became one of history's greatest teachers of inner freedom. Seneca faced political enemies, yet practiced endurance and clarity until the end. Their philosophy was built for pressure, fear, and uncertainty, the exact same conditions we face today. They learned that emotional strength is a skill, not a personality trait. Anyone can build it, one principle at a time. 4. The vision of who you could become. Imagine waking up tomorrow as a different version of yourself. Not louder, not tougher, not more aggressive, but calmer. A man who no longer reacts instantly to problems, who no longer panics when plans fall apart, who no longer allows other people's behavior to dictate his mood. A man who can be insulted without losing dignity, who can face bad news without collapsing, who can walk into stressful situations with clarity and steady breathing. This version of you already exists inside you, buried under stress, exhaustion, and emotional noise. The Stoic path is about uncovering this deeper self. You do not become unshakable by force. You become unshakable by understanding yourself more deeply than your fears. When you separate who you are from what you feel, emotions lose their ability to control you. This is not fantasy, it is mental training. 5. The first foundation. Inner balance begins internally. Most people try to fix their stress by changing everything around them, their job, their partner, their friends, their environment. But no external change will save you if your inner world remains fragile. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the presence of internal strength. When you train your mind to stay steady, you carry that strength everywhere you go, into conflict, into uncertainty, into pressure. Think of a glass of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, it stays cloudy. If you set it down, the water clears. Your mind is the same. It becomes cloudy not because life is difficult, but because you never let it settle. This inner stillness comes from understanding your emotions, watching your reactions, and building enough awareness to stop feeding the chaos. When the inside becomes calm, the outside loses its power over you. 6. The power of discipline. Why chaos hates order. Discipline is often misunderstood as harsh or restrictive, but in reality, discipline is the strongest form of self-love. It means you no longer live controlled by impulse, mood, or laziness. It means you do what strengthens you instead of what weakens you. When you create structure in your day, waking up with intention, keeping your space organized, eating well, finishing what you start, your mind becomes sharper. Discipline reduces chaos by reducing randomness. Think of a messy room. Every object out of place signals disorder to the brain. When you clean it, the mind responds instantly with relief. The same happens internally. A disciplined man stands taller, thinks clearer, and reacts slower because his life is not full of loose ends. Discipline removes the noise that weakens you. It is the first real step to becoming unshakable. 7. Self-focus without becoming selfish. There is a difference between self-focus and selfishness. Self-focus means protecting your emotional energy so you can function at your best. Selfishness means harming others for your own benefit. One is healthy, the other is destructive. Western society often guilt-trips people for taking care of themselves, but the truth is simple. If you don't look after your mind, you become a burden on yourself and everyone around you. You can't pour from an empty cup. Taking time to rest, to reflect, to limit draining people, to say no without guilt. These are acts of strength. They keep your emotional walls strong so chaos cannot enter so easily. When you protect your peace, you show up with more patience, more kindness, more stability, and more clarity for the people you love. 8. Mindfulness. Learning to control the present moment. Your mind spends most of its time replaying the past or worrying about the future. This constant mental time travel weakens your emotional stability. Mindfulness is the art of returning to the present moment, where 95% of your fears have no real power. When you breathe deeply, when you observe your thoughts without judging them, when you engage fully in what is right in front of you, the mind becomes calmer and your emotional reactions lose intensity. Think of the last time you were anxious. Your breath was shallow, your body tense, your thoughts racing. Mindfulness breaks this cycle by anchoring you to now. The present moment is always safer than your imagination. When you learn to stay here, in this moment, the storm inside you begins to quiet down. 9. Strengthening the body to strengthen the mind. Your mind cannot stay calm inside a weak, depleted, or overstressed body. Ancient cultures understood this deeply. They used natural remedies and foods to stabilize the nervous system, remedies that science now confirms. Ashwagandha lowers cortisol and helps calm anxiety. Chamomile and lavender relax the body. Magnesium-rich foods reduce tension. Omega-3 foods improve mood and mental clarity. Turmeric reduces inflammation that affects emotional balance. Warm honey water relaxes the system before sleep. Fennel and anise soften anxiety. These remedies work because the mind and body are connected. When the body is nourished, the mind becomes clearer, slower to panic and easier to control. A calm body supports a calm mind, and an unshakable man strengthens both. 10. Ancient mental training techniques that still work today. Stoics, monks, warriors, and scholars all trained the mind in similar ways, because human psychology hasn't changed. Breath control resets the nervous system immediately. Cold water exposure teaches resilience and reduces emotional overreaction. Walking meditation calms the body while clearing the mind. Early sunlight regulates hormones and improves focus. Journaling helps you understand your emotions instead of drowning in them. Minimalist living keeps the external world simple so the internal world can breathe. These practices are not trends. They are survival tools. Humans have used them for thousands of years because chaos has always existed. What matters is how you respond to it. Mental training builds the emotional muscles needed to stay steady when others fall apart. 11. Avoiding the wrong crowd. Your energy is precious. You cannot live a calm life surrounded by chaotic people. Negative, jealous, loud, dramatic, or lazy individuals drain your emotional energy like a leaking battery. The people you surround yourself with shape your thinking, influence your behavior, and either support your peace or sabotage it. Stoicism teaches that you must protect your environment as fiercely as your mind. If you want to grow, do not stand among those who choose destruction. If you want peace, do not stand among those who choose drama. When you distance yourself from toxic circles, your clarity increases, your energy returns, and your inner world becomes lighter. Sometimes the greatest act of strength is walking away. 12. Becoming the example others follow. When you rebuild your inner world, when you become calm, disciplined, patient, and mentally strong, you naturally influence everyone around you. Your children learn emotional strength by watching you. Your partner feels safer around your stability. Your friends become more grounded because your presence pulls them upward. You don't have to teach through speeches. You teach through the way you live. A calm man becomes a leader without trying. A disciplined man becomes a guide without asking. An unshakable man becomes a light that others rely on. And this is the final purpose of the Stoic path, to become such a force of stability that your strength spreads to others and changes lives beyond your own. Now, the responsibility belongs to you. You have just learned principles that have shaped strong men for thousands of years, but none of it will matter unless you choose to apply it. Wisdom without action becomes useless. Calmness without practice disappears. Strength without routine fades. The world you live in is chaotic, and it will always remain chaotic, but your response to it does not have to be. The responsibility is now yours. Not to rush past these words, not to forget them tomorrow, not to listen once and move on, but to return, reflect, and apply. Take one lesson each day, break it down, turn it into a habit, and live it. True transformation happens through repetition. Your mind becomes disciplined by daily training, not by good intentions. Your peace grows when you protect it consistently. The unshakable man is not created by chance. He is built through conscious decisions repeated every single day. Don't just hear these lessons. Absorb them, study them, practice them, and carry them into your daily life until they become part of who you are. Thank you for taking the time to listen, absorb, and reflect on these lessons. The world will continue to test you, challenge you, distract you, and try to pull you away from your inner center. But your strength doesn't come from avoiding the storms. It comes from knowing how to walk through them with clarity and calmness. Revisit these teachings whenever you feel lost or overwhelmed. Use them as anchors when life becomes loud. Share them with people who may need the same strength. Your journey doesn't end here. This is only the beginning of who you can become: calm, steady, patient, disciplined, and truly unshakable. Thanks again. By Ali M. K. Bright.